Hello, hello. So we are out walking and I'm just going to try out this new lens. So it might look a bit cropped in at the moment. It's because I've got the A6700 on active stabilisation, which means it crops in very slightly. So if I turn it off, you'll get a bit more of a view. So anyway, that's just seeing how this works, really, see how well the stabilisation actually works. So I'm using the new, to me anyway, 18 to 50 f2.8 Sigma DCDN, so it's the crop sensor lens. It's nice and small, nice and light, and just thought, let's get out, go for a walk, go on a little explore, take some photos with it as well, see how close it can focus, see how sharp it is at f2.8, you know, and how usable it is just generally as a walkabout lens as well. So obviously I said yesterday on the other video when I did the unboxing and talking about it going on the gimbal, so the RS4 Mini from DJI is perfect for that. So that's where it's going to be utilised the most. But also, go for a walk. Sometimes, you know, I'm probably not going to take the RX10 with me. The only limitations this is I've only got basically 27 to 70 equivalent. So it is a little bit limited, but at the same time, obviously better sensor and autofocus is a little bit more intelligent. And yeah, so anyway, let's carry on wandering. We're just heading down through the woods and we are basically going to go and have a little adventure. So there's plenty of wildlife around at the moment. You can see nature doing its thing now. Things are growing nicely. Crazy thistles and stuff, but there is actually a bug on there, so I don't go getting attacked by things, but there is a thing there. But yeah, let's crack on. So in trouble walking through woodland and places like that this time of year. There's flies everywhere, so hopefully get into the shaded bits where it won't be so bad. But let's get over to this path bit here. Right, so I'm in standard stabilisation now, just so you can kind of see. And I've actually swapped over to 4K because I just thought actually it kind of needs to be, doesn't it? So you'll be able to see the difference probably in video quality, possibly. Don't know. Anyway, so yeah, this is without the active stabilisation on. So where I walk, I'm quite clumpy, and you'll be able to see I'm not as smooth as I would be normally. But maybe it doesn't look too bad. I don't know. But my arm's obviously doing a lot of that because I'm holding a camera out at arm's length. Well, not maybe 3/4 arm's length. So anyway, we are going to go and wander down through here. It's actually grown up a lot actually since the last time I came down here. So is there an easier way down, Stu? Kind of wearing shorts, which was stupid. There we go, this is a bit easier, not as bad. So these are public footpaths. Oop. So I'm not trespassing or anything like that, even though it's quite nice to. So I still love this old bit of building here, which is a little discovery I made last year. So I'll take a couple of shots of this. It looks like an old bridge, but we don't know why. And it's got, in fact, it's got like a roof bit on it. It's quite mad. So yeah, there's big bank up that way, and obviously a big bank here as well. So was the bridge used the lower section, or I just don't know, it's a bit bizarre. Was it for cattle or was it for, I don't know, bizarre. Definitely wasn't for vehicles, because there's no way you'd really get a vehicle up here, and it was a long time ago because there's big trees and stuff in the way. So I really don't understand what it was for. But anyway, let's take a couple of shots. This is awesome. So when I've taken photos and stuff like that, just look around, because the reflection of the water is just on the sun and everything, is just reflecting up onto the underneath these leaves, and it just looks insane. There is two, I don't know what they're called. Where are they? There we go. Sort of see them flying around. Like they're sort of dark blue metallic-y, sort of, kind of like dragonflies but not. So when you're shooting 4K on the A6700, it means you can actually zoom in on sensor. So you can see there 1.5 times. So I can give myself another 1.5 crop compared to, that's the equivalent of about 27, and then that's 70, and then in theory I should go out 105, I think, or thereabouts, which is quite cool. This adds you a little bit more usability in the filming side anyway. There we go, look at him hovering around. So I'm out in the middle of nowhere. There's an old little shack. There's even got a bath outside. It's a buzzard. Just up there somewhere. You can hear him. He's literally, unfortunately we can't see him, over there. Oh, he's flying. So literally out in the middle of nowhere. Beautiful place. Like I say, there's a hut down there. I don't know if it's just someone's little getaway, hideaway, or someone who lives there, I don't know. But we're out in the middle of nowhere. So it could be a place of, you know, some place to live. No solar panels or anything like that, so it's very basic. Spiderwebs in the face. There's flowing water down there, so I mean, it's not like they have water and everything if they were to live here. Quite cool, away from all the people. So, yeah, quite mad. Thing is, I can follow these animal footpaths. There's plenty of them. So, oh, just grazed my knee. Wow, look at that tree that's completely and utterly fallen down, but the water's still rushing past it underneath. Well, I say rushing, flowing. I love doing stuff like this, just getting out and exploring. Another bird. So I'll come around the corner and obviously fallen down trees. Check this fungi out. Look at that, that's crazy. Isn't that mad? Just growing on the top of a tree that's fallen down and probably died, I don't know. Crazy how nature does its thing. So I'm just wondering how close I can go, actually. So that's wide angle. Cool. Really close. I'm within 2 inches of the end of the lens. And then 50mm, or 70 as such. About there somewhere, which is about the width of my hand away. So it actually focuses really nice and close, which is cool. That's mad. Let's take a couple of pictures. So that was weird. I'll say weird by chance. I'll put the picture. It's not great because it was a bit of like a, oh god. Just randomly saw 2 friends who were out walking the dog, and then I've come back up on the lane here, and I could hear running. I thought, oh, maybe the dog's coming. No, it was a deer. Just one deer. Normally get loads of them, but no, just one. So I've had a little sit down, just sitting on a fence here, which is like a stile at the same time. I'll show you in a sec. But cool old wall that's properly leaning. A massive old oak tree there. I've no idea how old that is, but that view is rather pleasant. So we're going to walk down there in a minute. Just walking down to this lake now, and this was actually an old sawmill originally. So big lake, and over to the side, which is very overgrown at this time of year, is a sawmill. It's actually even got the saw still in there. Not that we'll be able to get to it today because it's probably going to be heavily overgrown. But check this this lake out. It's lovely. How nice. In fact, we can go a little bit lower. That's where obviously the sheep have been going down for a drink. Dragonflies, the lot. Nice lilies, but it's well kept. Damselfly of some sort. So you can see here, that's the old water wheel, and then part of the building, and then you can see quite a lot of big building there, but you can see it's well overgrown. In the winter this all dies back, you can actually see it quite well apparently. Yeah, and there would have been a pulley system inside which actually then makes it all work. Oh, it's properly overgrown. There's a saw in there. So watching a dragonfly, which will probably come past me again in a minute, just cruise across that meadow there. And you think they mainly spend their time over water, which is quite mad. Big blue one it was. He's probably gone back over here somewhere. Ducks in the distance. So, getting quite warm now. It's been quite a pleasant walk there. Seen a few bits and pieces, nothing too ridiculous though. But there's a herd of cows down here, I'm just walking down. So they could make some interesting photos. Because they're a bit loopy cows, aren't they? Big wet noses. Depends how friendly they are, or if they've got babies out, I'm not sure. They might have a couple of calves. Not sure. Anyway, the view across the countryside is incredible. Check that out. That looks lovely. A bit of plane slowing down into British airspace. So, looks like, oh yeah, baby cows. Alright. I did wonder actually, they've put the electric fence this side, so you have to walk down the other way. Hello cows. Oh, you're pretty. The one with grey. Hello. Hello. Moo-moos. How cool are you? That one there. Right, mate. Hello. Cow go moo. All lying down over there. It's quite a warm day though. You gonna go too? You're leaving them alone? Thinking about it? Moo. Moo. There we go, nice little church. This looks fantastic. Get some shots of that in a minute, the wild daisies. I suppose there's no wedding or anything today. Looks like a face, maybe an alien face. A bit crazy. A couple of them. Very old, so you can't even see any writing or anything. It's crazy. Madness. This is cool. Someone who actually trims the footpath, but because they've got their own allotment near here, look. It's cool, so growing stuff. Not sure what, but this is a public footpath through here. So, growing beans and potatoes, a few other bits and bobs here. Not sure what else. It's cool. Apple tree down there. So down we go. Anyway. We are now back out in the middle of nowhere. Starting to feel hungry now because it's now just gone 2 o'clock. Been out for about 3 hours wandering around, snapping away, just getting the old steps in, which is obviously good because I'd actually let it slip a little bit. So trying to get walking. Oh, okay. This is the end of the easy path. Oh, Jesus, could be fun. I think I need a stick, a decent stick somewhere. They're all rotten. Bit of a short stick, but it's quite strong. So at least we can just hook them out of the way, depending on how we need. Because, ow, you bastard! Yep. This way I either get stung loads or spiked by bloody brambles. Just got stung on my hand. Excellent. Joys. Brambles. Oh, yep, being stung again. The joy. Oh, now we're going to open the open a bit more. Not so bad. Oh. There we go. Oh, that's better. Cool, got me right in the hand, that did. And on my legs. Oh well. Appreciating this A6700 a lot more now, do you know? Now I've got a lens that kind of suits it. I think that makes a hell of a difference. I don't know with the sun right behind me. But yeah, no. What a nice bit of kit actually. I haven't really used it, that's the thing. I've had it ages, but only really used it a couple of times, here or there, to get stuff done, you know? Or if I needed a bit more reach or something like that, I'd stick the 200-600 on. Make the most of the sort of more up-to-date autofocus system, but I always go back to the A1 just because it's so much better in the real world. But for now, from what I'm doing, like I said, the A6700 with this lens on is an absolute little weapon. So there we go. Anyway, back into the undergrowth by the looks of it. Don't break the screen, should you? That'd be bad. So yeah, there we go. Back through more undergrowth. Anyway, this is going to be really boring from now on, so what I'm going to do is we'll cut to the computer and swap you around this way. We'll cut to the computer and go and have a look at some of the photos I've taken, see what they're like, and go from there really. I've taken RAWs and JPEG, and also tested out the different stabilisation mode as well, so the active one, see how good that really is. You know, just me walking now, for example, it's turned on, but obviously you do crop in slightly as well. But the fact you've got the active auto framing ability as well, so if it's on a tripod it will follow you around if you walk around and stuff like that by cropping in. It's really quite a useful piece of kit. So, oh, more brambles. So anyway guys, I shall see you at the computer. So I decided I was literally just going to use the JPEGs as examples. So this one here was shot f5 at about 70mm equivalent, and pretty sharp, pretty nice shot. This is wide open at f2.8, ISO 100 and about 1,000th of a second shutter speed. So again, nice and sharp. Bokeh's really pleasant actually. It's really quite cool. Looking across the fields, f5.6. Really nice sort of view there, and plenty in focus, which is quite good. Like I say, untouched, just straight out of the camera as JPEGs. Is that weird bridge that's in the woods, which makes no sense, but again sort of f5.6, but actually about 1,000 ISO because it's quite dull in there. This shot here, looking up into the leaves with the light casting from the water and reflecting up, which is quite cool. That was at f4. So yeah, it was quite cool. So these are the wide angle close as I could go, which was only a couple of inches really from the end of the actual lens itself. So it actually was quite good. And then that's it at 70mm zoomed in, as close as I could go as well. So yeah, it works quite nicely. And there you go. It's relatively sharp. It's, you know, for a small lens is pretty awesome. Again, another shot there. You know, there's a little bit of drop away there, even at sort of f4, f5.6, which is quite nice. You know, it's quite a pleasant depth of field. That's the wide angled shot there, which was f11. So as much as in its focus as possible. And quite a nice view there, obviously. And then that was zoomed in. But as you can see, I've got a couple of spots of dirt, which I haven't actually looked at yet, but I think they're on the sensor. Which obviously have a little clean. Only noticeable in the sky and up there, and obviously at highish f-stops. So the old damsel fly there. I'm not going to crop in or anything like that, but there you go. It's is what it is. My horizon wasn't level, but there you go. A little bit of a shot of the pond, the lake, which would have fed the water wheel to the sawmill, which would have been quite cool. And that's the sawmill, what's left of it. You can see more in the winter. But it's quite cool old building. Just can't get to it because it's properly dodgy. There's holes and things all over the place, and you would not want to fall in any of them. And when it's overgrown like that, it's a proper stay out and don't risk it kind of thing. So yeah, because lots of used to be old pulleys and belts and stuff like that, which would have driven the saw. Baby cows going moo at me. Well, not really. I was going moo at them more, but there you go. It was just trying out the autofocus, and the eye autofocus worked flawlessly. You know, it was absolutely fine. The sharpness is actually quite nice, and detail is really quite nice on this lens. I have discovered as well. So it's really quite a usable little lens for photos. So there we go. looking into a posh manor in the driveway. And then churchyard, stones and shadows. I was looking at the shadows of from the flowers and stuff like that. Were quite cool, because the sun was quite high up, so it was casting down. The funny coloured daisies, the sort of pinks, reds and whites, but then a mixture of both at the same time, so quite cool. But overall, I'm very impressed with the lens itself. This shot here shot at f5.6, and this one shot at, when it gets there, it'll be f2.8, the next one. There you go. So you can see the bokeh difference in the background there. Sharpness, very good, for what it is. You know, at the end of the day, it's a £479 lens, tiny, really fast autofocus, and seems to be producing some very good images. So all in all, very impressed with it. And yeah, so let me know what you think. Have you got one? Have you used one? Are you thinking about getting one? You know, really good for photos and video, it seems. So there we go. Anyway, please click the subscribe button, little notification bell as well, and I shall see you soon for another video.